This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. The government buyout of the GBPC one step closer, but F&M leader Michael Pintar questioning this risky takeover. The U.S. Embassy says it has deep concern over the police-involved shooting that claimed an American man's life. And another man accused of molesting a teenager. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strawn. In a moment, DeQuesta Dean will be joining us. Also this morning, we are talking with CIBC about their upcoming mortgage fair. And later in business, our monthly Orange Economy series looks at opportunities in animation for Bahamians. That's all ahead, but first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, Minister of Grand Bahama Ginger Moxie tabling two resolutions in Parliament aimed at securing authorization to guarantee loans amounting to $280 million for a new special purpose vehicle called Grand Bahama Energy Company Limited as it advances its effort to acquire ownership of the Grand Bahama Power Company. Moxie explaining that the Grand Bahama Energy Company Limited was established by the government as a special entity to acquire the ordinary voting shares of GBPC. She said the first resolution seeks approval from the House for the government to borrow $200 million by Grand Bahama Energy Company Limited through a consortium of banks led by Standard Chartered Bank for the acquisition of all the ordinary voting shares. The second resolution sought for approval for Parliament for the government to guarantee a borrowing of $80 million from Royal Bank Bahamas Limited to assist with capital expenditure and working capital. Meanwhile, F&M leader Michael Pintard saying that though the opposition supports energy reform, it cannot endorse piling new debt onto an already broken system. His words, his comments coming after those resolutions were tabled in the House yesterday. Pintard says the move is risky. In a statement, he said, quote, for a government that has failed to reduce electricity rates in New Providence and has also overseen mishandling of BPL, we find it unlikely that this rushed action will ease the financial burden on any Grand Bahamian. The United States Embassy in Nassau is calling for justice for an unarmed American man who was shot and killed by an off-duty police officer in western New Providence on Saturday evening. An embassy spokesperson saying, quote, we are closely following the case of the shooting death of a U.S. citizen by an off-duty police officer last weekend. We note with deepest concern media reports that the officer followed the unarmed victim to his vehicle before fatally shooting him. We urge the government of the Bahamas to ensure the victim receives justice in this case without delay. That victim is Cody Castillo. He is a Pike employee. Police initially reported that around 6 p.m. an altercation began inside the Plantation Bar and Grill off West Bay Street and continued outside. That off-duty police officer who had been at the establishment claimed that one of the men involved in the altercation entered his vehicle and drove it in a threatening manner towards the officer. Told that the officer was in fear for his life when he drew his weapon and fired at the driver, killing him. Video footage recorded by an onlooker at the scene showed an injured Castillo lying on the ground outside his vehicle as onlookers looked on. He was killed a day after his first wedding anniversary. A GoFundMe page has been created in support of Castillo's pregnant wife, Michaela, noting that he died as a result of, quote, senseless violence. And as we told you yesterday, this incident was the first of two in New Providence over the weekend involving off-duty police officers who shot and killed men, then claimed self-defense. That second incident took place early yesterday morning on Village Road. The officer said the victim attacked him with a cutlass. When asked about the incidents, Minister of National Security Wayne Monroe yesterday saying the police will determine whether there was any wrongdoing by the respective officers. Chief Superintendent Shariah King, police press liaison officer, when asked yesterday about off-duty officers carrying weapons, said some are permitted to do so. King was also asked whether the officer responsible for the shooting at Plantation was tested to determine if he was intoxicated, and she said that matter is still being investigated. A 48-year-old Haitian man remanded to prison on allegations that he molested a 13-year-old girl. Raymond Escarmont faced 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse when he made his initial court appearance before Magistrate Abigail Farrington. Prosecutors say the crimes took place on New Providence in November and December of 2025. Escarmont was not required to enter pleas to the charges and was denied bail. The matter was adjourned to June 22nd for the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment. Escarmont, who did not have a lawyer, claimed he was born in the Bahamas at Princess Margaret Hospital and is married to a Bahamian woman. However, an immigration officer said there is no record of Escarmont in their system. A police officer and a patient care technician are accused of a conspiracy to possess marijuana with intent to supply. Prosecutors allege that Constable Demetria Stubbs, who's 29 years old and who worked in a cell block at Magistrates Court Complex, and a 40-year-old Precious Clark, an employee of the Bahamas Department of Corrections, plotted to possess 2.4 pounds of marijuana between February 1st and March 16th. Police allegedly found the drugs when they executed a search warrant on Clark's home at Seabreeze Lane on March 16th. Clark and a housemate, 31-year-old hairdresser Charlene Alexis, are charged with drug possession with intent to supply. Stubbs faces additional counts of abetment to possess drugs with intent to supply. The accused denied the charges at the arraignment before Acting Chief Magistrate Ansela Evans. Their bail was set at $9,500 each, and they are required to report to police on Mondays before 9 p.m. A trial is set for May 6th. Clark and Stubbs have been suspended from duty pending the completion of the trial. Overseas, airstrikes battering Iran's capital and Iranian missiles and drones targeting Israel's Tel Aviv and sites across the Mideast. On Tuesday, today, even as U.S. President Donald Trump said the United States was in talks with the Islamic Republic to end the war. With thousands more U.S. Marines on their way to the Gulf, both sides firing intense barrages, and Iran denying any negotiations taking place, the war's tempo remained high a day after Trump delayed his self-imposed deadline for Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Tehran's chokehold on that crucial waterway has snarled international shipping and has sent fuel prices skyrocketing and has threatened the world economy. Any talks between the U.S. and Iran, which appeared to be the most tentative today, would face monumental challenges. Many of Washington's shifting lists of objectives, particularly over Iran's ballistic missile and nuclear programs, remain difficult to achieve. And a major Russian drone and missile attack on civilian areas of Ukraine killed 4 people and injured at least 27, while Moscow's army stepped up efforts to break through Ukrainian frontline defenses in what could be the start of an anticipated spring ground offensive. Russia fired almost 400 long-range drones at Ukraine overnight. The onslaught continued into Tuesday morning as dozens of drones targeted the capital, Kyiv, during daylight. Russia also launched 23 cruise missiles and 7 ballistic missiles at Ukraine during the night, hitting at least 10 locations across the country. Ukrainian civilians have endured relentless since Russia launched a full-scale invasion of its neighbor more than 4 years ago. And Danish voters went to the polls today in a general election, with Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen seeking a third term at the helm of the Scandinavian country after a standoff with U.S. President Trump over the future of the kingdom's semi-autonomous territory of Greenland. More than 4.3 million people are eligible to have their say in the vote for the new parliament in Copenhagen, which is elected for a 4-year term. Frederiksen called the election in February, several months before she had to, in apparent hopes that her resolute image in the crisis over Greenland would help her with voters in the European Union and NATO member country. In her second term, her support had waned as the cost of living rose, something that, along with pensions and a potential wealth tax, has been a prominent campaign issue. The 48-year-old center-left Social Democrat is known for strong support of Ukraine in its defense against Russia's invasion and for a restrictive approach to migration, continuing a tradition in Danish politics that goes back 2 decades.
This is Sports Update.
In sports, after about 10 hours of deliberations between the selection committee, executive board members, and coaches, the B3A's, Bahamas Association of Athletic Associations, finally settling on a 77-member team to represent the Bahamas at the 2026 Carifta Games Monday night, looking to restore the glory of years past and match or even surpass last year's historic tally of medals. What started off as a contentious undertaking turned into a night of joy, relief, and celebrations as parents, family members, friends, and supporters listened to the names of their loved ones being called at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium last night. As the very last team was officially named, all the names, which you need to know, in today's Guardian Sports section. And the 2026 Carifta Aquatics Championships are less than 2 weeks away, and Bahamian swimmers have spent the past 2 weekends fine-tuning their swims and building chemistry ahead of the junior regional meet. They faced off at the Betty Kelly Kenning National Swim Complex. The goal for the reigning champions is to collect an 8th consecutive swimming title to further cement themselves as the premier nation in the region for swimming. More on that in today's Guardian Sports section as well. And from college basketball on the women's side, Kimora Johnson scored 28 points as 10th-seeded Virginia became the first of the first four to reach the regional semifinals after an 83-75 double overtime win over number 2 Iowa Monday in a women's NCAA tournament second-round game. The Cavaliers, 22-11, won 3 games in 5 days, defeating Arizona State 57-55 in Thursday's first 4 game. Following that was an 82-73 overtime win over Georgia in Saturday's first round game, and then the Hawkeyes, 27-7, who were playing in front of a sellout crowd of 14,332 people. It's the first time Virginia has advanced to the second weekend of the tournament since 2000. It's also the first time a 10 seed has reached the Sweet 16 since Brighton did it in 2022. The Blue Jays also beat Iowa in the second round that year to advance. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got weak high pressure dominating the weather across the country, promoting stable and pleasant conditions. There does remain a moderate risk of rip currents for Atlantic waters, and swimmers are urged to exercise caution. And due to the UV index being in the high to very high range, everyone's being advised to protect themselves, wear sunglasses, sunscreen, wide-brimmed hats, suitable clothing, in the event of prolonged exposure between peak daylight hours, like 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So for today, the northern half of the country looking at mostly sunny conditions today, turning fair tonight, less than a 10% chance of showers. For the central and southeastern islands, a mix of sun and clouds, turning fair tonight, a 10% chance of showers. Winds variable at 10 knots or less for the extreme northern islands, including Grand Bahama. Northeast to east at 10 knots or less for the northwest Bahamas, and for the central and southeast Bahamas, northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots. Some higher gusts is expected around Inagua. Your temperatures today, high temperatures getting up to around 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight in the low 60s for the northern half of the country, mid 60s, mid to upper 60s for the central and southeast Bahamas. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General Insurance, made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way.
You are listening to Morning Blend. When we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
Wake up, it's a new day.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Wake up, it's a new day.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice. It's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
The following is a paid political message.
Find it here. You're looking for truth. Find it here. Vote for MacGyver. She's here for you. See everybody in Kalani. Change is here. Hands in the air. See everybody in Kalani. Vote for MacGyver. She is a fighter.
That was a paid political message.
Every day in a busy world, we have to do so much. Bank with CIBC and get that personal touch. Share your ambitions, let us help your dreams come true. At CIBC, you're at the heart of all we do. We're on your side, we're listening, we know the way you feel. CIBC, ambitions made real.
This is definitely the time for BAMSI to continue to build on the progress that we've made. There's now drone technology, there's now year-round container farming, you have hydroponics, you have aquaponics, you have precision farming. There have been record numbers of enrollments, record numbers of flat fishing certifications. We've had record enrollments in our online courses. Students from across the family of islands, because in BAMSI we're not just cultivating produce, we're cultivating producers.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Duquesa Dean. Duquesa, good morning.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Hey, I'm here. Hope you're doing well.
I'm hanging in. in.
Good stuff. A lot going on, a lot to talk about, including the upcoming CIBC Mortgage Fair. That's this weekend. We're going to get some details about that today. And later in business, it is our monthly series every fourth Tuesday of the month with the Orange Economy Unit of the Ministry of Economic Affairs. We're going to be getting details about opportunities for Bahamians in animation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some exciting stuff there. So that's coming up. But right now, it's time to talk about what else is in the news. In the news, talk about the government taking a step closer to buying the GBPC, the Grand Bahama Power Company, tabling two bills in Parliament yesterday to make this a reality. The opposition says this is risky, and there's an article in the business section today, Guardian business section, with the Chamber of Commerce saying that the government has failed to consult with them and key stakeholders in Grand Bahama on the GBPC takeover. Okay. Well, sure. Okay. But yes, that's happening. That is happening indeed. But also, we were talking about this quite a bit yesterday. A lot of concern about recent behavior by some police officers, some disturbing videos going around, but also the two fatal police-involved shootings. And now the U.S. Embassy expressing some concern about this. The big headline in the Nassau Guardian, ensure justice for Americans shot dead. U.S. Embassy has deep concern over police-involved shooting. Rachel Scott writing about this. The United States Embassy in Nassau is calling for justice for an unarmed American man who was shot and killed by an off-duty police officer in western New Providence Saturday evening. The embassy, an embassy spokesperson saying, quote, we note with deepest concern media reports that the officer followed the unarmed victim to his vehicle before fatally shooting him. We urge the government of the Bahamas to ensure the victim receives justice in this case without delay. The victim is said to be Cody Castillo, a Pike employee. Police initially reported that around 6 p.m., an altercation began inside Plantation Bar and Grill off West Bay Street and continued outside. The off-duty police officer who had been at the establishment claimed that one of the men involved in the altercation entered his vehicle and, quote, drove it in a threatening manner towards the officer. The officer, who was said to be in fear for his life, drew his weapon and fired it at the driver, killing him. Video footage recorded by an onlooker at the scene showed an injured Castillo lying on the ground outside his vehicle as onlookers surrounded him. Now, this is just wild here, Quessa. Apparently, he was killed one day after his first wedding anniversary. Can you believe that?
No, I really can't. Wow. I really can't.
My goodness. A GoFundMe page has been created in support of Castillo's pregnant wife,
wow,
Michaela, noting that he died as a result of, quote, senseless violence. The GoFundMe page says, quote, Michaela and Cody's love story was just beginning. They married a year ago, and their hearts were full of hope as they prepared to welcome their first child, a baby boy due in August.
Wow.
Cody was working to support his family with Pike Electric in the Bahamas. Then, in a moment that changed everything, Cody's life was taken by senseless violence while he was working abroad. Michaela is now facing the unimaginable, grieving her husband while preparing to bring their son into the world alone. She's overwhelmed by the sudden loss, the weight of funeral expenses, and the uncertainty of how she'll manage living costs and care for her baby without Cody by her side. The pain
It's hard.
This is a lot. The pain and fear are real, and she needs help from anyone who can offer it. My goodness.
Wow.
So
a baby on the way?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So that incident was just one of two in New Providence over the weekend involving off-duty officers who shot and killed men. They claimed, or then claimed, self-defense, the officers. In the second incident, we told you about this as breaking news, which took place early yesterday morning on Village Road. The officer said the victim attacked him with a cutlass. Now, when asked about the incidents, National Security Minister Wayne Monroe said that the police will determine whether there was any wrongdoing by the respective officers. He said, quote, if somebody attacks you with a cutlass, not only the police, but a private citizen has a right to defend themselves. I don't know what the injuries are for the officer. I'm told that he is in the hospital with injuries. I'm told that the gentleman in the plantation incident does not have injuries. It'll depend on the threat that faces you. It's governed by what is justifiable as set out in the penal code. He went on to say, quote, the police will investigate. If they find that there's cause to levy criminal charges, they will levy criminal charges. If there isn't any case for criminal charges, then they forward it on to the coroner. Meanwhile, Chief Superintendent Shariah King, the police press liaison, when asked yesterday about off-duty officers carrying weapons, said that some are permitted to do so. She was also under the officer responsible for the plantation shooting was tested to determine whether he was intoxicated. She said, quote, that matter is still being investigated. In a Facebook post yesterday, Bahamas Grid Company confirmed the death of the Pike team member, saying, quote, we are deeply saddened to confirm the tragic loss of one of our subcontractor Pike team members over the weekend. Our hearts go out to his family, colleagues, and friends during this incredibly difficult time. And in a statement yesterday, Human Rights Bahamas raised concern over a growing pattern of police use of lethal force, particularly involving off-duty officers, saying, quote, the recent fatal shooting outside the Plantation Bar and Grill on West Bay Street is not an isolated incident. It is the latest in a series of cases this year in which off-duty officers have discharged their weapons with fatal consequences. While each case must be assessed on the facts, the emerging pattern, both in the use of force and particularly in how these incidents are communicated to the public, warrants urgent scrutiny. We are seeing not only repeated instances of force, but a repeated pattern in how those incidents are immediately framed, one that consistently adopts the perspective of the officer involved. Human Rights Bahamas noted that in the case of the shooting at Plantation, the official police account has been, quote, widely challenged by individuals on social media who have claimed they were witnesses to the events.
Wow.
Saying, quote, several of these witnesses have indicated that they have not yet been contacted by investigators. This raises serious concerns not only about the investigation itself, but about the appearance of impartiality from the outset. Human Rights Bahamas, HRB, saying police should not present the account of a shooter as established fact in the early stages of an investigation, noting the need for restraint, neutrality, and rigorous fact-checking before communicating conclusions to the public. Well, especially with off-duty officers, right? Maybe with on-duty officers, perhaps. Quote, if the standard approach is to accept the officer's version of events at face value, then the question must be asked, can there be true independence in these investigations? HRB said the use of lethal force by officers must always be a measure of last resort, as it called for a prompt, open, and transparent investigation into the shootings, independent oversight of all police-involved shootings, a review of protocols governing off-duty officers carrying and using firearms, and clear, disciplined communication that reflects evidence and not assumption. This is not about undermining the police. It is about ensuring that the standards expected of them are upheld consistently and without exception. Okay, all right. Human Rights Bahamas has been quiet of late, but I'm glad that's a pretty good statement there from them.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about this yesterday, but let's get your reaction now that we know more about the victim in the Plantation shooting. My goodness. Let's hear from you. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. Oh, boy. One of the papers has a picture of the couple and their dogs smiling on a beach.
Wow. Wow. And he came here on assignment.
Yeah.
That is so difficult for a young marriage, a young wife. A baby that won't know his father. That's a lot. That's heavy.
Yeah. Wow. The Tribune has a little more on the other shooting yesterday morning. So that second fatal police-involved shooting involving an off-duty officer in 2 days has left a 48-year-old man dead. Police say the incident occurred shortly after 1 a.m. on Monday on Village Road. The off-duty officer was walking south with the group when he became involved in a verbal altercation with a motorist traveling north. According to police, the motorist got out of his vehicle armed with a cutlass and struck the officer in the back, causing injury. The officer, fearing for his life, drew his service weapon and fired, fatally wounding the man. EMS responded and determined the man showed no signs of life. The injured officer was taken to the hospital, his condition not known still, but he's said to be in the hospital now. A source telling them that the deceased is 47-year-old Michael Russell, and that the dispute began at the Bear Fest on Montague Beach.
No.
Yeah, that's what we heard yesterday. The shooting follows Saturday's fatal shooting, of course, as we told you about. Yeah.
So how does it turn into something different other than an incident that got it started?
Well, I mean, that makes sense. Just because you're crossing the street or maybe taking a long time, let's not assume that would enrage. I mean, I know people are hot-tempered, but enrage a driver so much that he ran out of his car with a cutlass and hit the one guy who has a gun. That's highly unlikely. We don't know the facts, but come on now. So obviously this started somewhere else. I was thinking at first it was a bar, but it was Bear Fest. In any event, alcohol present, and here we are. Here we are. Something happened, and people saw it.
Exactly.
Whatever happened at Beer Fest led to that. Unfortunately.
Oh.
So let's take some calls, and we'll get you the text line. We've got some calls coming in. Good morning, caller. You are live on the air. Hi. Good morning. Are you there? Call us back.
Hi, good morning.
We can hear you now. Yes. Good morning.
What is the? I'm not sure I followed it. What is the government of Bahamas establishing an independent police review agency or board?
Okay, you're muffled. We can barely hear you. Say that again.
I'm asking. I've not followed in recent times any response from the government of the Bahamas or reaction to Bahamians' call for an independent review agency. Is there any commentary on record or any response from the government in recent times on this?
You know the answer. But these things go to the coroner's court, and that is relatively independent.
So a case like this would just be subjected to the coroner's response to cause of death. And in terms of disciplinary actions and all the other stuff and complaints as it relates to them, because it doesn't always have to be the result of death. And so the oversight of the police as by the police has always been a concern of mine. And I think that we're not going to see any serious dent in the various concerns we have with the police if the police continue to be their own oversight agency.
I don't know if that's fair. I don't think that's right. I mean, it depends, right? So normally this would go to the coroner's court, and then if they decide that the officer was at fault, the DPP decides whether to press charges, whether there is a case.
But
and that does happen occasionally before.
My commentary is not limited to serious death. My commentary is across the board in terms of concerns that we have with police conduct, and the fact that we feel as a public, the public position is that the police should not continue to be the only agency responsible for oversight as far as their disciplinary action is concerned. I just don't think that we can expect any substantive change in the status quo if we continue to allow the status quo to remain. And the police have always been, we said this earlier in the week, what has happened to all of the many other cases that the commissioner of police or the liaison says it's currently under investigation and they will get back to us. Not necessarily the ones with serious things, but other cases that suggest or implies that there is concern about police conduct. That's my concern, because when you the serious death incidents that we're talking about, off of other areas that has gone awry. This isn't just a situation where the police itself got up and we have an incident of serious death. There are other breakdowns that are taking place that leads up to these serious death situations. That's my concern.
Okay, yeah, well, I think a lot of us have those concerns. Yeah, hopefully we learn more about the victim from the other incident soon. People want to know who he was and what he was all about, and whether he has any family out there too. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? Hi, good morning. We can hear you.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Stewart.
Hi.
And good morning to the Cresser, the Jolly Giant.
Good morning.
I don't want to embarrass the Cresser as a Jolly Giant, right? But Dwight, that last caller, I love him, and he's kind of poised. And what he said, so let's get to it right away. The first incident, it's said that the guy that was shot wasn't even the guy that was in the argument with the officer. And there are conflicting reports in the narratives. So the ballistics eventually, with the coroner's inquest, it will show what happened. And so what I'm afraid is what the guy was saying, your last caller was really correct. So as it relates to the incident in Village Road, it was said that the officer was walking with a group of people. Now we found that it's actually 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't see any exercising clothes. We see a change in the narrative.
No. It was always, no one was saying but exercising. I mean, it was pretty clear that this was leaving some event, either a bar
and so alcohol is a stupefying drug. That's what it's known as. I knew that when I was a child. My father studied with the DA, and I used to read the papers when I was a child. It's a stupefying drug, all right? And the thing is, it impairs judgment and cognition. And so if I'm a citizen and we see the detectives, like the videos and people with the foot incident or whatever, people are on the side of the road that was there saying what they saw, right? And so for me, why is it that a witness is so important in other civilian cases, but when it comes to the police, and so the fact that the Minister of National Insecurity hasn't issued a statement as yet, even as it relates to the American citizen, the word on the streets is the American citizen just got married, his wife is pregnant, and so I urge police officers to take off their whatever they're wearing, but there seems to be that when they put on a uniform, something goes into their brains, because you have to humanize yourself. A guy who just got married as a child, now we have a 47-year-old behemoth, people saying the guy was on the ground when he was shot. So what I'm saying is, why change narratives if you don't have something to hide? That's what
I don't know if any narrative has changed. I don't know if that's right. But we're only hearing one side. So it's not about let me talk though. It's not about narratives changing. It's about we've only heard the police side.
Yes, very correct. Mm-hmm. Well, I call it the gospel, according to the police. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to know yesterday if you said on your show, because a friend of mine was in the house. You said that the guy who was shot out a plantation wasn't the guy in the argument, right?
That's what bystanders were saying.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that's what I'm saying. Why is bystanders' words being neglected when they are always respected during civilian cases?
Why are you saying that they're being neglected?
Because it doesn't count. It doesn't matter. Your last caller just highlight when nothing new will happen, and I respect the coroner's inquest, but it's just that the coroner's inquest have no teeth. And so he was very sensible in that he said you can go back into an archives and see a plethora.
Well, now the police say they're still investigating, so they might be charged.
They're always still investigating, right? I know, but listen to me. The thing is, the injustice, neglect chicken has come home to roost now because it's American citizen. The thing is, for me, what I'd like to see is a mass protest downtown and against this injustice. It has nothing to do with how effective the police are. Police. Some police are my friends. I can't just come across the board with this foolish narrative that the police are my friends when they're doing what they're doing. And when are they going to be held accountable for the insurmountable amount of BS that's going on? Okay. Come on, man. We are all pathetic. I hate this place, man.
Okay. Thanks. Wow.
That's some passion. Hate is a strong word. That's some passion.
So again, Wayne Monroe he was asked, and he said there will be an investigation, and whatever comes out of that will come out of that. And I was speaking to both police-involved shootings.
So I have a question. Do our police officers trained in every instance to shoot to kill? Are they taught to shoot to disarm or taught de-escalation methods? Like, I mean, not like you may not know, but I am just.
I mean, we've had this
wondering.
conversation for years. It appears to be shoot to kill. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to be around lame for years because the police shot you. I don't know if that's a good thing for them or for you. I don't know. That's not the reason why they do it, but that's apparently how it works. You don't want to get into an altercation with the police.
Right.
Apparently not even an off-duty one. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hi, good morning. You're live on the air. Are you there? Call us back. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free. 242-300-5720. Some text messages. This person says here, what did I do with the text messages? Oh, boy. If the guy went outside the building after the argument and got into his truck, why would you follow him outside? What was your intention? Alcohol is a crazy drug. As for the incident I messaged yesterday about the girl who came to my daughter's house, she came back last night with a gas bomb. What now? What? On the house. There wasn't much damage, but now she's in custody and appeared intoxicated. What? Okay, there's something you're not telling us. What is going on? So they clearly know each other. Yesterday it sounded like she just broke into the house randomly, but no, this is a vendetta. Okay. Let me tell you something. Some Bahamians are living some very exciting lives. Wow. Okay. Too exciting. Too exciting. Yeah, I saw some things yesterday. This place is unbelievable. That's all I have to say. Unbelievable. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Mr. Strachan.
Good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Okay, yeah, just did. Mr. Strachan, I really don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. But imagine this: the police officer who was off duty, who shot the gentleman there. I know for one thing, he should have identified himself. I don't know if he identified himself as a police officer, but it seems to use deadly force.
But he wasn't there as a police officer, right? He wasn't there as a police officer. He was a civilian off duty,
right?
A civilian off duty, and you're right. So this is just strange.
Technically, he's still on duty, right? I mean, the thing is, if you discharge your weapon, that means you're trying to get a situation under control. You should have. I mean, I don't know if he said that, "Hey, gentlemen, I'm a police officer. This is my badge. This is my gun. Let's calm down." You understand what I'm saying?
No. He was apparently, according to the bystanders, part of the altercation.
Okay.
So this isn't you just stumble on a scene like, oh, what's going on here? Even though I'm off, I can't believe I'm off, but I have to deal with this. It wasn't like that. And both situations don't sound like that.
Oh, okay.
These are, you happen to be a cop. Right. And somebody has it out with that person had a long-standing beef with you, it seems, in the other incident. Or maybe the beef started at where they were.
Right.
Maybe in both instances.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely a different scenario. Well, I'll be to see the outcome.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Maybe make sure there wasn't going to be anything else happening out there. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
I mean, their responsibility is to uphold law and order. So it's confusing when you create confusion around what you are really supposed to be doing, because, de-escalation could also mean you walked away, you left. Why take someone's life? I don't get that
Well,
part.
again, he felt his life was in danger. Let's take this call. Good morning, call. You're on the air.
Good morning, how you doing?
Hi, doing well.
As more of the story comes of the plantation shooting, it just feels more and more tragic hearing the background of the victim who was killed. But I think the silver lining in all this may be that he was an American citizen, and the embassy will hopefully force the police and the government and everybody, even the minister, who just seems to just come on the defense mode, you know what I mean, and force them to actually address all these recent off-duty police-involved shootings. Because I don't think the police or the minister would have addressed it if that had not been an American citizen. If that had been a Bahamian citizen, this probably would have been swept under the rug from yesterday. So I just think it's a blessing in a way that it was a U.S. citizen that will force them to at least take this seriously.
Okay, well, that's rough. But I hear you. I understand the point you're making.
And that's sad to hear.
Very.
That is very sad to hear that our lives as Bahamians do not have the same value as a foreigner.
Wow.
What does that mean?
But I think we always knew that. Is that a call? Yeah. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Dwight, and good morning, Duquesa.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Dwight, that area, you had no surveillance camera.
That's what I think the minister said that. So hopefully we will see it. We need to make sure that is made public too.
The scene in Minnesota, you're going to see the lady tries to be like the ICE officer and grace him. So you need there should be some surveillance camera so we could see if he try to run over this off-duty officer or what, man. I know that's a club or a bar out there. I know that it is out there. So it got to have some surveillance camera, CCTV or something, man.
Well, we want to see the footage.
You need something.
Want to see the footage of the altercation too. Want to see exactly what was going on there.
All right, so I know you're going to do it, Lewis. All right, I'll have a great day.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Yeah, another texter saying, ask for that footage from Plantation. We'll all see what happened and stop making assumptions. Wow. This person says that we've started off on the wrong foot when we talk about a policeman shooting and killing someone. Bias leans automatically to the shooting being somehow justified. The facts are this was a private citizen with a license to carry a gun who had an argument with another private citizen and killed him. Yeah. Yep. Gotta stress that off-duty part. And he was not in the line of duty. He wasn't working. He didn't stop a scene. He was a part of the problem that led to this incident.
So when you
both cases,
carry your service weapon.
Some can apparently, some can.
Wow.
We got to go to the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We'll pick this up on the other side. Stay with us here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today. Pick it like science. Don't punish me with brutality. Talk to me so you can see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Right now.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. Also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas, Channel 969, and BTC Float Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969 or 224-796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:21, time for another check of your weather for today. Brought to you by Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals that make it easy to get started. So here's what's happening. We've got weak high pressure dominating the weather across the country, promoting stable and pleasant weather conditions. That weak high pressure will remain across the area through to about Wednesday, Thursday, producing mostly stable conditions. But late Wednesday, a weak frontal boundary is forecast to stall just north of the northern Bahamas, increasing the chance of shower activity over that part of the country. By Thursday, low-level troughing combined with an influx of moisture will contribute to enhanced shower activity for the central and southeastern islands. And then Sunday, another frontal boundary is expected to move into the northern Bahamas, accompanied by very strong to gale force winds and hazardous beaching and boating conditions. Ahead of that, though, for today, there remains a moderate risk of rip currents for Atlantic water. Exercise caution. And we're expecting another day of high to very high UV indices. And everyone's being advised to protect themselves, wear sunglasses, sunscreen, or avoid daylight during peak daylight hours, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. For today, your forecast calls for mostly sunny conditions, turning fair at night for the northern and northwest Bahamas. A mix of sun and clouds for the central and southeast Bahamas, turning fair at night. We're looking at temperatures reaching highs near 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius for most areas. Overnight lows for the northern half of the country, ranging from 59 to 64 Fahrenheit. And the low to mid-60s for the central and southeast Bahamas. In your extended outlook for Wednesday, tomorrow, partly sunny to sunny for the northern islands, but a mix of sun and clouds for mostly everywhere else. By Thursday, partly sunny to sunny for all areas, turning mostly fair at night, with rain chances up a bit to 10 to 30%. And by Friday, partly sunny during the day, becoming mostly fair at night for the northern half of the country, and a mix of sun and clouds for the southern half of the country. Most areas seeing a 10 to 30% chance of showers. That's going to hold into Saturday as well. That's your Morning Blend Weather Check. Weather Check also brought to you by BTC. To all entrepreneurs and business owners, your internet should work as hard as you do. With BTC Business Broadband, you get the speed and reliability to run your business smoothly, serve customers faster, and stay connected. Give them a call at 302-7700 and discover the difference business-grade broadband can make. And it's time for traffic, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. In your real-time traffic, as usual, Mile Butler Highway, heavy traffic for you northbound from well south of the Fire Trail roundabout all the way up to Tawny Quilliams Darling Highway. Once you get north of that area, though, into New Providence Highway, you'll see that traffic as well. Straight through the roundabout at Sports Center Road and up to the six-legged roundabout, backed up quite a bit along JFK Drive eastbound and southbound on New Providence Highway as well. West Bay Street seeing some slow-moving traffic as usual at the roundabout with New Providence Highway. That's eastbound near Sun. And heavy traffic for you, but moving along West Bay once you approach Arawak Key, but east of Arawak Key, heading into downtown, you'll see that heavy traffic as usual near Nassau Street, both directions at that junction. Blue Hill Road also with heavy traffic this morning from St. Vincent all the way up to Independence Drive if you're heading northbound. And Tawny Quilliams Darling Highway is backed up just west of that roundabout up to about Bahamas Games Boulevard. And east of that area, Independence Drive, both directions, east and westbound, especially eastbound right now, seeing some very heavy, slow-moving traffic. East Street, lots of hot spots for you near Bamboo Boulevard and then north of Sapodilla Boulevard. If you're heading northbound, straight up to East-West Highway, actually up to Robinson Road. Speaking of Robinson Road, a bit farther east, you're going to see that heavy traffic between Old Trail and East-West Highway Marathon. In fact, from Prince Charles Drive at Soldier Road, even Beatrice Avenue, you're going to be seeing that heavy westbound traffic for you. Eastern Road also, slow-moving traffic just east of Foxhill right now. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Your partner for smart motor insurance and advice. It puts you first. Whether you're on the go or at home, getting an instant motor quote is easy. Give them a call or visit your nearest branch or log in anytime at nuainsurance.com.
New roads and airports are connecting our islands. Energy reform is bringing electricity prices down, while young Bahamians are stepping up, gaining new skills for new opportunities. Respect for workers. Support for entrepreneurs. We're modernizing energy and infrastructure across our islands and preparing Bahamians to succeed in a new economy. Transformations this big take time. Let's choose progress. Paid for by the PLP.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know, what understand, so we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use.
Mm-hmm.
So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us, because we've got you covered.
Struggling to find your financial rhythm? Make that move to Fidelity and let us help you orchestrate your financial goals into perfect harmony with free financial coaching sessions. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity.
Marcos is the best. Marcos is the best. The best. Yeah, 1 large 2 top in 1 large 2 top in 1 large 2 top in 1 large 2 top in. Marcos is the best. The best. Here, Marcos is the best.
1 large, 2 topping for $16.50. Only at Marco's.
Wake up, it's a new day.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, Air, the Athlete's Foot, and BTC Games and more. John Bull Fine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's Clarkson Island Lock, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Store.
Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Yeah. Father, we don't need to escalate.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeCressa Dean on this Tuesday morning. Coming up, we're going to be talking with CIBC. Their mortgage fair is just a few days away. We'll get details about that. And later, it's our monthly series with the Orange Economy Unit in the Ministry of Economic Affairs. We are talking about the orange economy, as we do every fourth Tuesday each month, and opportunities in animation. That's what we're going to be discussing with them this morning. That's all ahead. But we continue right now for a few more minutes on what's in the news, getting a reaction to the big stories of the day. We're talking about the police-involved shootings and other questionable behaviors of late. Did you see the other video that's been circulating of
I
police?
was just going to ask you that.
Right. Police in a domestic, well, I guess, was it domestic situation, but police manhandling
Oh, yeah, he really roughed her
woman.
up. That was pathetic.
Well, I don't know what to make of it. And I don't know what was happening.
She didn't even have on a shirt. Like,
Yeah, she was
it was
just
wild.
in a bra and in front of everybody, and just a wild scene. Again, we don't know what happened. I don't know if anybody knows, but just the optics are, not good. Not good.
It don't look good at all.
Yeah. So we've got a few text messages, and we can take a few more calls. So you can call in 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, toll free 242-300-5720, or tweet us, or Facebook us, or text us 422-4796. So in response to that, I guess, and all the things that have been happening with officers and even other uniform branches, right? Remember the dog. This person says, I have a question. What is the time frame on training our police officers? I feel that police officer training should not be rushed in any way, shape, or form, and maybe we need to look into the length of time officers are being trained. This is not a job where on-the-job training should occur. I would hope that training does not occur after an incident or incidents such as these that occurred this weekend. I hear you. Wow. We've talked about this before. You remember that we were a few administrations back talking about transitioning the police college to a police academy. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And police academies are, I think you're in there for, it's almost like college, right? It's
right.
It's like years. It's a few years. You don't just take a few weeks.
I mean, I feel that it goes a little bit deeper, Dwight, in terms of who is being recruited. Like what
the
is
pool
the
is the Bahamian people.
Right, but I mean, what is the criteria? You remember one point in time ago when you saw police officers, these dudes used to be fit. You could see they did some training and some endurance development and all that sort of stuff. But now I feel like the standard has dropped tremendously. And is that because people aren't interested in going on the force? Like, what what is the challenge in getting reasonable police officers trained?
Are you
in
judging the officers based on their looks, DeQuessa?
somewhat?
Oh, dear.
I mean, like, if you look like you can't chase a criminal, chances are you can't. Like, I mean, real, you know. It's I don't know what to say.
Wow. I hear you. Let's take a call, and we'll get back to the text messages. Caller, are you there?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
All right. So, I'm at Human Rights Bahamas, and more specifically, the Police Corruption and Armed Forces Division. My issue with this entire situation, or our issue with this entire situation, where the American citizen has been shot and killed, is that at what point do police officers transition or switch from life-saving, protecting themselves and the general public to saving the life of the individual? Because it is reported that there were 4 persons on scene that tried to render life-saving a victim, and they were all told that they cannot render aid, and 2 of them were actually arrested for trying to save his life.
What?
It's reported. It's in the papers. So at what point do you switch from, I'm trying to save my life as an officer, to also, I want to ensure that this individual who is accused or suspected of a crime see his day in court and justice be handed. And 2 of the individuals were actually medical professionals who were prohibited from trying to save the young man's life that were on the scene. So this, when you talk about training and changing the entire system of policing, it's needed.
Those are some very serious, claims.
No, it's in the news this morning, so it is not something that was hearsay.
Well, I mean,
this is an eyewitness account as well on the scene.
It's still a hearsay, but I mean, it's interesting if that is indeed the case. That is wild.
But we've seen it. We've seen it ourselves, where the police would shoot a individual who was suspected of a crime, and they just stand there waiting for an ambulance as the person bleed out and die. All our police officers trained to also save the life of a suspect.
Well, that's a great question. Maybe there's something as to if you shot the person, you shouldn't touch them. I don't know, but it's quite something. But to prevent
so how would the person see a day in court and be actually held accountable for their crime?
To prevent others from trying to save the person's life is quite something, if that is indeed the case. But thank you.
It's definitely reported in the eyewitness report this morning. 4 persons were saving his life.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate the call. Lots of questions about what happened in this matter, indeed.
Yeah.
Wow. Let's read these messages. There's a whole lot to get through. This person says here, but I don't know if this is fair. I don't think this is fair at all. Under this administration, really, I don't think this politics. This is how the police have been acting for decades. So it's across administration. Everything's not politics. Come on, we do need to reform some things about the police force. This has been happening. So let's not do that. But anyway, they've never seen this level of disregard for human life. I only saw this thrill to kill under other cultures. Oh, here we go. Where it looks like a gang-like culture. May the truth be found in the people. Bahamian citizens deserve better, and God knows we need justice through an independent body. All right, you're heading in some weird territory, texter. That's how most Bahamians feel towards the police. It's tragic when it happens to us Bahamians. Nothing. It's swept under the rug. But foreigners is a different story, I think they're trying to say. Okay. Some of these police are too stink, oh boy, and don't know how to talk to people. Some, but not all, of course, right?
Right.
Last week, my daughter went to court and was awaiting bail. The female officer told her, see her in jail.
Oh. So what?
That very same officer charged for taking drugs to a prisoner. Karma.
Oh, wow.
Well, okay. I'm not sure what the training entails, but we do need to do away with this 3 BJC thing to be the requirement and implement a minimum of an associate's degree to join the force.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Intense sensitivity training, conflict resolution, and sexual harassment training.
Agree. I actually know of an organization that requires their security officers to have a bachelor's degree.
Where? In the Bahamas?
Yes, here in the Bahamas.
Who are they? Who and what are they guarding?
I think it's the central bank, but they can't.
Well,
they have a requirement for, but this is on-site
Well, see
security.
Yes, that makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, that shows processing. You had to have some sense to go through 4 years of, higher education, processing, dealing with people. Like, I mean,
wow.
Like, I don't understand.
I'm not. Something's missing from the text. Oh, this is the same one. Okay. This is the same person who for 2 days has been telling us about the incident with her daughter and the person who broke in and tried to. Okay, so they don't want to get too deep into it, but oh, I see. Okay, I won't read all that on the air, but thank you for that. Wow, that's interesting stuff. For Minister Monroe to claim that he only knows of the incidents that he heard broadcast on the radio, and also he has no idea what condition the hospitalized officer is truly incredible and telling. Is he not briefed on these types of things? How could he, at that level, not know? Again, he is they are the policymaker, the minister. I mean, that's for the commissioner and for the commodore of the defense force, and maybe not. I mean, that would be a lot. It would be a lot to be briefed on everything for a minister of national security. You're there to make policy so that the stupidness that happens doesn't happen anymore. So I can kind of understand it. Yeah. But sometimes in the past, we've had ministers who were trying to give all the information on everything, speaking more than the commissioner, which was a problem. And you don't need 2 of them. You don't. So it'd be good if everyone knew their lane. It would be good. Okay. And this person says here, have you seen in the media another fee? Yeah, we talked about it this morning. A woman and a prison officer or prison employee charged with drugs. Yes. Police training is about 6 months currently. Yeah, that's kind of short. Police, this is a policy change that's needed. Officers carrying weapons should be consuming 0 alcohol, no. Yeah, off duty, right? Yeah. 6 months is the training along with ongoing mandatory training. Ongoing for everybody? Okay. One final call and then we got to take a break. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Dwight, how you doing?
Doing well.
Madam Dane, how are you, ma'am?
I'm well. How are you?
Yes. I called to concur with a statement that you made a moment ago. I don't know if Brother Dwight, if he heard you, but you used the phrase standard. Myself, and I don't know how old are you, but I believe that you are now matured. This is a brand new world and brand new Bahamas now we are living in. And that word that you use, standard. As you move around, you can see the deterioration in standard in every which way. I remember when the bank used to be of a certain standard, the dress code, your workplace, even in churches, people who walk the street, they have a certain standard. So now when you go at these eateries, you have to basically watch your back because persons who lack diplomacy and don't have respect for the next person, it will escalate because of the lack of respect and standard. And I don't see myself as discriminating, but someplace I just don't go now at my age, because I don't know if I can digest that, the behavior. And the younger folks, I have grandchildren, they seem and like it's nothing wrong with it. But myself and you, Ms. Dean, I don't know if Brother Dwight reached that age yet. You can just see. I see the change of this country from the 80s right now to this new century. Standard. And from the home, you can see the standard, the way little girls come out of their house, the way the boys behave and dress, poorly socialize. This is, I don't know if we will ever go back to those traditional values again. I don't see it.
You know, before you go, and I hear you, I agree with you. Things have changed. But you know what, this is before my time, so you might know. But have you seen pictures of students here in their school uniform in the 70s?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen how short those skirts were and how short the minis that the teachers were?
Let me concur. Let me say this, Dwight. You heard about the first female principal that took over. It was not Aaron Bailey. It was Highbury High. You heard about Highbury High?
Yes.
You know who was the first female principal there?
Not really.
Your mother should know. Your mother was once a teacher, right?
Yes.
Renita Butler.
Okay.
I don't understand why this country have yet to recognize that lady, that principal of Highbury High. Yes, I want to concur with you, but she was at the gate. When you decide to be woman enough or mannish enough not to obey the discipline of that school, no parent was. You wouldn't pick up the what the word I want to use. Her. She at that gate, and she will take the hemming with the scissors out of your skirt lining. If a boy or a young man decide that he didn't get a proper grooming, and he believed that she will open your pants and make sure your shirt is in your pants. You can even run from her. She was heavy. You can even run from her because she recognized faces, and she was good like that.
All right, so the skirts were short, but the manners and the attitude were in right in line.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different from what I'm saying now today. So I have to concur with Sister Dane. Standard has dropped. Yes, we were mischievous back in the days in the 80s. I will not say that I was not mischievous. I was mischievous. I was a little bit sly, but I never went this far. I never challenged my parents. Never. I couldn't.
Okay. All right, Dr. P, appreciate it. Thank you very much for the call. A lot to think about there. We got to take a break. We'll be back with more Morning Blend on Guardian Radio in just a bit.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This is definitely the time for BAMSI to continue to build on the progress that we've made. There's now drone technology. There's now year-round aquaponics. You have aquaponics. You have precision farming. There have been record numbers of enrollments, record numbers of flat fishing certifications. We've had record enrollments in our online courses. Students from across the family of islands. Because in BAMSI, we are not just cultivating produce. We're cultivating producers.
Paid for by the PLP.
At Star General, you can go gold. Comprehensive car insurance covers loss or damage from accidents, fire, theft, and third-party liability. But the Gold package gives you increased coverage for rental car and windscreen, personal accident, medical benefits, deductible waiver, and 24-hour roadside assistance where available. Our Star General Gold package Also gives you up to $2,500 for accidental damage to a rental car anywhere in the Bahamas. Go gold with Star General. Insurance made simple.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with DeQuesta Dean. Changing gears now, talking about mortgages and the CIBC Mortgage Fair coming up in just a few days. Here to talk about it, very pleased to welcome back to the show CIBC District Manager Cherise Archer and Branch Manager for Shirley Street, Marvin Major. Good morning. Great to have you all with us.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, DeQuesta.
Hi, good morning, guys.
Good morning,
Great to be here.
All right, so mortgages. Okay, we're going to get all the details about what's happening with the fair. But I mean, mortgages at this time in the Bahamas, this is something for only millionaires, right?
Definitely not.
No? Okay.
Definitely
Explain.
not.
Is there still stuff regular guys like me can afford?
Most definitely regular guys can afford. CIBC has the best mortgage product in the Bahamas. And we've tapered our product for the regular guy and for the multimillionaire.
Okay. Got everybody covered.
Everybody covered. Mm-hmm. Our down payments are as low as 5%. We go up to a term of 35 years. We just have everything for the customer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Any trends that you're seeing with what's out there before we get specific into what you're all offering? What are you noticing people coming to get a mortgage for?
Well, I think when we look at the trend, it's really home ownership, and then there's a lack of supply. I think it's being promoted by the government, by the central bank, and certainly with everything that's going on globally based on inflation, the fact that things will continue to rise. Home ownership is really paramount, and so we're happy to be here again. We had done this kind of education to our clients and to the wider public back in January last year. Mm-hmm. And so we thought it fitting to come back again and promote this kind of product.
So you're saying you're seeing interest. People are
Most
really,
definitely,
because
most
of the
definitely.
uncertainty in the global markets.
Yeah. Well, when you look at paying someone rently or paying for rent every month, you can use that allocation towards home ownership. If you don't qualify for a mortgage, obviously we can guide you, tailor a product to suit you, and then you can get into acquiring vacant land and have an opportunity to then build. So we're here every step of the way on that cycle with you.
Okay, all right. So,
quick question: Are you
question?
seeing? Yeah, are you seeing people have more interest in vacant land? I mean, there's a trend of thought that home ownership is out of reach for the average Bahamian. How are you seeing the attitude toward that progressive way of getting there, like land ownership, then moving on to home? Is that something you're seeing people being more receptive to?
Well, I think that is a myth. Home ownership is actually very easy. Cherise had referred to it earlier with a 5% down payment, and we spoke about the excellent product offer that we have. In fact, you can own up to a fourplex as a residential home as long as you're living in one. Right. So traditionally, that was unheard of in the market. But think about it. You can have 3 units generating income for you. Mm-hmm. You're living in one, and that really can take care of the mortgage payment. I think the most important thing is that the education and sharing of the information that has. And so with this kind of forum, we're able to share, and certainly the event that's coming up. But most people realize that in order to acquire an asset, it's becoming more, and so the time is really now to secure your piece of the rock, so they say.
Absolutely.
And
Sharice?
regarding the vacant properties, usually once we've done an assessment and we find that you may not at this time be qualified for the mortgage, then we usually encourage the vacant property. So within another year or two, you probably have the equity, you have the value, you have the savings, then you can then go on to build your home. So we encourage both.
Yeah. That's all it takes, a couple years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For CIBC, you have equity in your vacant property 1 year after you purchase it.
Wow, great.
Okay? So we look at everything, the residential, the duplexes, the triplexes, the fourplexes, and the vacant property. So we're one-stop shop here.
Yeah. All right. So you got some special offers. Tell us about those and special features. You mentioned some already, but tell us more about those, what we can expect. And these are limited time offers, some of them.
Most definitely. Now, this is a one-day event. And just so everybody's aware, we are doing it at 3 of our branches, 2 in Nassau, 1 in Freeport. We're at the Shirley Street branch and the Carmichael branch, which is Saturday, March the 28th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are doing on-the-spot pre-mortgage qualifications. Wow. Once you've gotten the qualifications, you're going to get a certificate outlining the amount you qualify for. While our main focus would be mortgages, if the client wants to come and maybe discuss a car loan, a consolidation, any other personal facilities, we'll also have that discussion with you.
Okay.
We're giving financial advice and services. We're seeing what we can do to help the client home ownership.
Excellent.
So does that include people who may have existing facilities at
Everything.
other banks?
Most definitely.
Yeah, it's an opportunity actually to look at your financial picture. We have the sales specialists who will be available. You can come in. Again, the locations are at our Carmichael Road branch and the main branch on Shirley Street. And it's having the conversation, being able to sit down, know what your numbers are, go over them. And when we talk about numbers, your income, your expenses, seeing how much you qualify for, understanding what is it that you need to do to be in a better financial position. And we're here to guide you with that. Because when you look at it, most people start to look for vacant land or a home before they even speak to the bankers. Right. And so we want to be in a position to do a financial assessment, present you with an outline of what you qualify for so you can understand the ballpark that you can play in and prepare yourself. I think
So
one
what
of the
should they
greatest... Go ahead.
What should they bring with them for that discussion?
Because it's a one-day event, we want to get you in. We can follow up on all of the supporting information, but it's important to get in, sit down, do the assessment, get your name on the list, get your certificate, and then the supporting information that we will look at to present a formal application for loan. That will happen after. But it's having an opportunity for one day to be able to walk into a location and spend the time outside of your busy schedule to have a financial assessment done of your needs, and we can tailor it for you.
Right. You mentioned it already, Marvin, that you could have up to 35 years to pay 5% down payment only. What are any specials you're offering at this time?
Well, if it's vacant land only, we can go up to 15 years, and that's unheard of in the industry. And so it allows flexibility, again, being able to tailor the offer for you. Once we do an assessment of your financial picture, understand how much you need to qualify for, what your injection may be, because many times we come to the table and we don't know how much skin we need to have in the game. Right. And so that kind of forum will help you to understand at minimum you need 5% down, and then you need to look at allocating for your legal fees as well as insurances or real property taxes. But if you participate in this event that we're offering on Saturday, we actually are assisting with legal fees up to $2,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so that would also help people to qualify and make it a little bit less burdensome in terms of the overall qualification.
Yeah. Is there a loan application fee?
There's also a reduction in the loan application
Okay.
fee, which is 50%. Now, I also want to inject here that we also have an International Women's Day campaign that is going on as a part of our mortgage fair.
Okay. Men can benefit from that too?
International Women's Day.
Oh, I guess that means no.
It's the same thing where the $2,000 would go towards legal fees. For the women, though, there are no setup fees.
Okay.
And, we have some of the most flexible rates in the markets. For women, it's still the 35 years and still the 5% down payment. And
International Men's Day is in November. I hope you do something for the guys
Most definitely.
in November. Okay.
Most definitely.
Good.
And this offer actually ends. So once you get your certificate, it's June 30th.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right, ladies, get cracking. Get cracking.
Yeah.
All right, so that's
I
great.
have a question,
DeCressa?
Sharice. So for first-time homeowners, are there still considerations like tax relief? I don't know what to call it.
Most definitely with the government, yeah. But for some time, CIBC is structured in a way, though. We usually request that up front with Inland Revenue to ensure that there are no taxes that would be assessed.
Okay. All right. Got a few questions on our text line. This person says, do you have a listing of repossessed homes that they
We
can...
do. We do. It's right on our website.
Okay. All right. That's good to know. What's the website?
CIBCcaribbean.com.
Okay. All right.
And I think it's on the first page. It's like the fourth or fifth on the left. And it'll say repossessed.
Okay. All right.
Distressed property.
This person is asking, I think you touched on it when you say you are providing financial advice.
Most definitely.
This person says here, home ownership while trying to pay rent and come up with a down payment. This is challenging. How are we expected to do this?
DeQuesta said it earlier with the vacant property. Vacant property would be, the injection is slightly more, it's 10%, but the overall cost is less. So they can come in on Saturday. We can give them some financial advice, run the figures for them based on the area they're looking to purchase. Vacant property can be between $50,000 to $100,000. And so this still could be a dream for the individual.
Yeah, don't count it out.
Do not.
And it's important because most people would end up taking out a without understanding what the impact may be when they want to purchase vacant land or mortgage. And so the education, again, to take the opportunity to come in, look at your numbers again, how much you make, what your spend is, so that you have an opportunity of how much you save at the end of the day. And generally, you want to save 20% of your annual income because you want to come into the bank and have a track record of a savings pattern. In addition to that, having a favorable track record in the credit industry because that is very, very important.
Right. We've got that credit bureau functioning right now.
Right.
Fully functioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many people were not aware of it, but it is something that all of the banks look at. And so track record is really important. And it speaks to character as well.
Yep.
So
Marvin,
go ahead.
Can you let us know, like, let's say there is a young adult who may have good savings and it's making a certain amount, but it's not an enough amount. Do you look at partnerships like a mom and a daughter or two sisters, or is that an option that most banks would look at for mortgages or apartments or anything like that?
Yeah, we would do the assessment and then try to tailor the product. What you're speaking about also has some legal ramifications to it as well, so that it's different from a husband and wife where you're actually legally tied. But when you look at doing a 25, 30-year mortgage and you're tied to a sibling or a parent, it actually restricts you in a sense because at some point one may want to move on. Marriage may come up, and then you're in a position where who do we call for the payment? There's always some uncertainty around that. And so in those scenarios, we would always request that you get independent legal advice so that you're fully aware of what you're getting into, so you're not blinded by it. And then obviously many young people do planning around home ownership, and we have couples, and it makes the financial picture a little clearer. And there are some people that just want to do it on their own to have an investment property later on. And so it's pretty flexible in terms of coming in, but we don't discourage ownership of land or a home. We will certainly look at how best we can tailor it for each individual.
Okay. All right. So remind us, got a couple minutes left. Saturday, the 3 locations, and what people can expect and what they need to bring to be on to get that on the spot pre-qualification.
The mortgage fair is this Saturday, March 28th, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. In New Nassau, it's Shirley Street and the Carmichael Road, and in Freeport, it's the East Mall branch. If you have available your job letter and hopefully a pay slip, you can bring that so we can assist with an assessment. You're going to meet dedicated lenders who's going to give you the best financial advice for your future. We have prizes, we have giveaways, we have light refreshments. And even if today, if you're on Saturday, if you don't want to talk about mortgages or you want to talk about something else, we have lenders there who can talk about another product, who can talk about a personal loan or credit card. We're doing up to 95% financing over a 35-year period with a 50% reduction in loan and $2,000 towards your legal fees.
Okay.
This offer ends June 30th.
Very exciting stuff there. Looks like it's going to be a great time. Cherise Archer and Marvin Major, thank you for being here this morning. Appreciate it.
And
thank you.
Thanks to Quessa,
Cherise, on
Dwight.
your recent promotion.
Thank you,
Yes.
Quessa.
Congratulations. All right, we're going to break for news and be back with Morning Blend Business with our Orange Economy segment. Stay tuned here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Oh, my love, you are my heaven. You're my kingdom. Girl, you're my crown. Whoa, whoa, my love, you're all I prayed for. These arms to surround, faithful as the morning sunrise.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, March 24th, 2026, the fourth Tuesday of the month. That means it's time for our Orange Economy series, our partnership with the Orange Economy Unit of the Ministry of Economic Affairs. And this morning we're very pleased to have back with us, as usual, Director of the Orange Economy Unit, Angelique McKay, and we have legendary artists, Jason Evans, Javon Evans. Good morning. Good morning to both of you. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right. So far in the series, you've introduced us to a lot of unbelievable concepts. Last month, we were talking to a noted sculptor, and now animation is what we're focusing on today, and the opportunities in animation for Bahamians.
Yes. One of the things that this unit was designed to is to expose the wider community as well as the global community to the talent that we have here in the Bahamas in the creative industry. To export the creative industry of the Bahamas to the wider global community. Because our talent is unmatched. Pound for pound, we can stand next to any creative, any other place on this planet. And I say that with the utmost of confidence because I've seen what it is that our creatives do, and not just one segment or one arm or one area within the entire industry. So the role of my unit, the unit that I'm in, is to expose that to the world, to take our creative industry beyond our borders.
Amazing. All right. So we know as you say, a lot of talented artists, a lot of people who can draw very well. You see it in our young boys and girls. But to take it to the level of animation, I don't know. Are there a lot of Bahamians who are thinking that I could be an animator? Jason?
Not a lot, but there are a few. Let's see. I taught somebody who came from Abaco for like 2 weeks. Enough for him to get into SCAD, and I think he actually graduated with his animation degree now.
Okay.
Javon Bailey. And then there's some more kids that I know that are in school right now studying animation.
Really?
And then you have a whole crew here. Nassau Rock, Maj Joshin, Rashad Cash, like doing their thing. Comics and actually have a pilot for a series.
Right. That is amazing.
What is SCAD?
SCAD is Savannah College of Art and Design.
That's a big one.
Top tier.
Yeah,
Top
that's
tier.
one of the top ones,
Yes.
definitely. Yeah. So what does it take? What does it take to be an animator?
A lot of determination, patience, and a bit of creativity.
Yeah.
Right, but patience.
How did you get into it?
Oh, so long story short, I used to own my own advertising agency, and one time my partner gave me a animation program. Sat in my life for 2 years before I actually opened it.
Why?
Because I had other stuff to do, right? But the reason why he bought it was because I kept talking about, hey, I want to get into it. So apparently he was just at the counter one day. There was a little cheap program for animation, so he bought it when he came back. Like, here, I don't want to hear you talk about it no more. Start it at least. And I didn't, like I said, it was in my life for about 2 years before I actually opened it. But at that point, I was so bitten by the bug that I decided, I don't know if I want to keep this business anymore. I want to get into animation.
Oh, wow.
So I walked away from the business. And then as soon as I did that, an opportunity came where I had time to work on my very first project and be able to eat. So I was like, great, let me try. And it took me 6 years to make my first project.
Yeah, tell us about the first project. What was that?
So it is called Chris Combus Us, The Tall Tale of an Accidental Tourist.
Say that name again.
Chris Combus Us, The Tall Tale of an Accidental Tourist.
Good name.
So Chris Combus Us, clearly Christopher Columbus, okay. Tall Tale of an Accidental Tourist. Basically, it's just to tell the story of that guy who did not discover anything. He landed here.
Right.
Not discovered. And so my cousin wrote it. I challenged him on that, and I got the opportunity. If you write this script and I really like it, I will learn this program and create this film.
Wow.
And 6 years later, it came.
Yeah.
And you can watch it on YouTube today.
That was all the way back in 2012.
Yeah.
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 What are careers in anime? Like, what would that look like outside of animated cartoons? Like,
The difference between
Anime?
anime and animation.
Okay, so anime pretty much means any animation coming out of Japan. Right? So, well, if that's the case, we could change it and say anything coming out of Bahamas is Bahaname. Right? You know, it's just a...
Does it have to be out of Japan, or does it have to be in the style of
Well, if you're
Japanese?
copying it, I guess you could say it's anime as well, but anime really means, you know, coming out of Japan, because they were the ones who invented the style.
And they have that copywritten and registered.
Oh, is it like
and
champagne
all the
now?
rest.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, reggae for Jamaica, if Bahamians do it, is it still reggae?
Right.
Or is it Bahama reggae or whatever? I don't know, right? So, yeah. But animation, it's pretty much the process of putting a bunch of sequence of images together, slightly moving each piece, so that when your eye sees it at 24 frames a second, it looks and appears as if it's moving.
Yeah.
So, it takes a long time, but if you're really into it, dedicated to it, I mean, you just enjoy when it comes to life.
Yeah. You talked about it. So we were seeing some more ads, TV commercials with animation.
Yes.
Bahamian animation.
Yes.
But you talked about it. Somebody's doing a TV show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nassau Rock, and then I think another one's coming out soon called The Golden Grouper. Right? And
There's
then you
a
have
series.
Well,
or short.
Nassau Rock is supposed to be the pilot for a series.
Okay.
But, you know, that's a crew of people. And everybody's kind of doing it for the labor of love at this point.
Nice.
All right, to the point where they actually have the actual pilot created.
Right.
I mean, I've seen it already like 2 or 3 times because they've had like film festivals for it and stuff. So it's out, and now they're working on the second one. Right. So yes, but as like in terms of opportunities, I've done say instructional videos about the life cycle of a conch. You know, stuff like that. I've done for a reggae artist out of, I don't remember right now, out of the Caribbean. But I did like a whole animation series before he actually came out on stage. It was projected behind him and that type of stuff. So, yeah, it's not just for a cartoon for people, you know. Because
I said cartoon.
Right.
You heard that?
I heard that.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, though...
Dismissive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how most people treat artists, basically, right? Oh, you're just an artist, right? But clearly, we run the world.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, some of the biggest movies in the world are animated, right?
Okay, not even. When you get out of the bed in the morning, everything that you use has a label. And guess who designs those labels? An artist.
Yeah.
From the logo to the packaging to all of it. But most people do not realize artists are the ones who run the world.
Yeah.
But yet they put us at the bottom of the pedestal.
My. So Angelique was shaking her head because labor of love is not good enough now.
No,
and it shouldn't be the standard.
It really isn't. We have so many creatives here in the Bahamas and around the world because the story is the same. That we need something to do that will allow us to be able to eat and pay the bills, and then we get to do what it is that we need to do, that we were put on this planet to do. You know, so we're actively trying to work to assist our creative community to tap into new markets around the world, so that they are able to eat and do what it is that they love at the same.
Wow. We want to find out more about that in a bit. Let's take some calls, too, if you have questions for Angelique and Jason. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll-free, 242-300-5720. Caller, good morning. You're live on the air.
Good morning. How's everyone?
Doing well.
All right.
Okay. I just wanted to say something that I don't know if your panel could address this, but in the last few years, especially within the last 2 to 3 years, the issue as it relates to animation and any forms of those types of visual arts, videos, or whatever, AI has made it so simple that literally the aspect of, say, per se, having to go off to university or college or do a course in it and all of that has almost made that somewhat kind of obsolete, in my opinion. I have seen some stuff that have been done that I wondered whether or not those persons had went to university. It took them years to learn this stuff and whatnot. How are you guys going to, let's say, for instance, encounter an organization, persons who are just coming up and they're using AI. Simplified, no major degrees, no nothing of that nature, and they're making some things happen. Let me give you a prime example. The gentleman that just won the award for I think visual effects, and I can't remember, Zane, I think his name is. Zane will tell you that most of what he's learned. How do you look at something like that as it relates to the industry?
But self-taught isn't the same as AI, though. Self-taught and AI aren't the same.
And AI is a headache. I've tried it. If you're looking for something specific, you're going to have a very hard time getting what you want because it's pretty much the same rule. Garbage in, garbage out. Mm-hmm. Simple as, one time I was doing some graphics for a person's project, and I was being lazy. I wanted 5 parallel lines. Well, I got 5 parallel lines, but 4 was straight and 1 was kind of askew, and then they were all different sizes and that type of stuff. So unless you're specific with what you want, yeah, AI can work. But I can guarantee you, a friend of mine had me sat down on the weekend and watch an entire AI-generated film. Mm-hmm. Man, by the time I was finished, I had a headache.
Yeah.
The woman is holding the guy with 3 hands. Oof.
Are you still there, caller? The thing is, the AI, and it might change.
The reason why I ask that is because it would appear as though that the industry is speaking contrary to what you're actually
You
saying.
sure? You sure about it? Because I want to ask you this. Because what the AI thing can do is make an animated version of your face, right? But
it can do a whole lot more than that, brother.
But is it creative? Is it like interpreting your face?
The people who are making the AI videos and so forth, they're not worrying about that. They're getting paid. They're not worried about whether or not, and there are many corporate entities would speak to be different. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah. How do you look at that as compared to?
It's a great question. Let's get them to respond. All right, but I think there's a difference between, as in, I can make you look like like an animated version of you versus art. Right, and I think that's what AI can't do right now, or
because
maybe never will.
Nothing can beat the human touch.
And then on top of that, self-taught is totally different from AI. So he still had to learn how to do these different things. And like you're saying, if you're going to learn that AI program, and it still is not going to come out as if you created certain things. But I prefer the real version of certain things. A lot of people are focused on AI. Like Jason would have said, that's the lazy version of getting certain things done. But if that's what they prefer, and I find myself thinking as a creative, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah. No, there is a big difference between, you can't, it doesn't look exactly like the person, but you know it's them because this artist captured the essence. AI is just giving you just yourself, animated. And that's the difference, and there will always be a place
Here's
for
where
the
I
artist.
would use AI for animation. If somebody asks me to create a backdrop for their, I don't know, like their stage performance, they're not really specific of what they want. Hey, AI, generate me something with some stars and lightning and that type of stuff. Give it to me for 1 hour or something. Boom. I don't really care. They don't really care. We'll use it with all the glitches and all that stuff that AI is going to put into it. Right? But if somebody comes specifically they want angels that actually morph into I don't know what and this type of stuff, I would never trust AI to do that type of stuff.
Yeah. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning to you and your guest.
Morning.
Good morning.
I have to agree with the whole conversation with AI. There's a lot of AI. Just a bunch of just lazy animators who just throw in some information and that they
And
want
not even animators,
AI.
just regular people.
Yeah, because I don't think
Just
the
regular
people that run
Right,
to
right.
AI are
so
creatives.
but what I know that there's still there's still people who want genuine art. They want genuine
Yes.
work. They love to see that these persons really took the time to come and let their creative juices flow and come up with ideas that are very organic and just fun to do. Because my wife, she does a lot of artwork. We don't use that AI. We don't use AI for anything. She does everything hand drawn, hand painted, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so, using your creative skills is I think far more demanding. The whole world now is pushing for AI, and they're throwing it all at you. But there are still persons out there who genuinely want real animation, real art.
Yeah.
Not just something that they could find online and they could just say, "Hey, ChatGPT,
Right.
slap
Exactly.
this together for me and just show this out there for me, please."
Yes.
So
Now,
I
mind
really
you-
appreciate that the work that you're doing. And I have a question because I am creating a book and just wanted to know if I could get your contact. This would be good to talk to you about some project that I would like to focus on.
Okay, sure. Do I give it now?
You can give it out and give it again at the end of the show. Yeah.
Okay. 4dreads@gmail.com.
Four Dreads?
Yes, the number 4, DREADS @gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Keep
You're
up
quite
the good
welcome.
work.
All right,
Thanks
cool.
a lot. DeQuesta?
May I ask a question? Budding artists, like, is there a community where you guys get together and, give support to budding artists who are interested in, this particular field or any at all? Where can somebody go where they can sit among other artists and get their craft cultivated versus going to AI?
Okay, well, to be honest with you, I don't know if there is an actual community that a bunch of animators here or people who are interested can actually go to. But I know a few years ago on Facebook, there used to be an active group, where every Sunday or so they would meet up and draw and that type of stuff. So maybe that could be revitalized, right? But I actually teach an animation program right now for the Technical Cadets program.
Okay.
So I've had the same students for 3 years. So I got them in grade 10, and they're about to graduate now. For the first 2 years, they studied graphic design, and for this last year, they've been studying animation. So the end of next month, they are going to have a screening of their projects.
Oh, man.
So
That's amazing.
I'm kind of excited about
You got to
that.
come back to tell us about that.
All
And
right.
we would love to hear more about that. That is great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff. What are you seeing from them? What's how interested are they in a career in this?
Well, actually, I have one student who actually just showed me last week, Wednesday, that she got into SCAD.
Okay.
So she is
okay.
very excited.
Another one.
Orangey cotton.
Okay,
Yeah.
but at the same time, very disappointed because her family cannot afford SCAD.
Oh, no.
So she's actively looking for scholarships and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't want to discourage her. Like, listen, I need you to be the only way, right? But if you can get into SCAD, it will take you far.
Yeah.
Because that school doesn't necessarily teach you animation. They teach you all types of angles and aspects of where art can go. They actually teach you to be more of a problem solver. Because that's what pretty much artists do.
Yeah. Is SCAD the one with the sneaker design, or is that RISD?
RISD, I think
RISD,
it is.
okay. Good.
I'm
That
not
was
sure.
amazing. That's another show.
Yes,
But
that's Rhode Island School of Design.
Right.
That's
I
like
mean,
a top
everybody
tier.
who gets into that program gets a job immediately as they graduate.
All right.
At
yes.
Nike or
And you
wherever.
have a few Bahamians who actually went to RISD
Oh,
too, as well.
man. We got to
right?
do a show on that one.
Yes.
Sneaker design.
Jolyon Smith, Clive Stewart, John Beadle, the late great John Beadle. You know, Dion Benjamin Smith. You know,
And you know all of those names in
Those
the
are big
creative
names.
community.
Those are big names.
Yeah.
All right. So and you said it's she. So the girls and boys interested in this.
Yes.
In your program.
In fact, I have a former classmate of mine, Rachel. Shout out to Rachel Roll. She lives in Florida right now. She called me up one day last week, like, "Hey, my daughter's in town. She wants to meet you again." Okay. She's studying animation, right? So she came to the class last week, Wednesday, and actually, fraternized with my students.
Excellent.
And so, yeah, and she showed her project that she's been working on with a few artists as well. So,
yeah. Great stuff. Caller, we'll get to you in a second. So, Angelique, how can you get that young lady a scholarship to go to SCAD?
Well, we can
Or
reach
others
out.
like her.
We can reach out to the Ministry of Education because they are very supportive of the arts. If you would notice, the minister would have spoken at our performing arts school. So I'm gonna have a word with the people at the Ministry of Education to see what scholarships she may be able to tap into.
Yeah. We want to talk more about other opportunities. Take this call, though. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, Dwight, and good morning to the individuals in the studio.
Good morning.
Yes,
Thank
good
you.
afternoon.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed most of your show. I just walked in when you were talking about AI inside of the art.
Yeah, we're talking about opportunities in animation. Animation.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just want to. I understand what you're saying in respect. What happens is AI right now is in its infancy, but AI capability is doubling about every 7 months. Now, UNESCO's and others have basically already gave a warning that by 2028, that AI could impact easily as much as 24 to 28% of audiovisuals and the music creation industry and others. The problem is that where we are with AI is where we were with the World Wide Web in 1992, where literally there were thousands of people and companies in the particular marketplace, but then it became more refined, and it will impact the industry. I think more so the use of AI is for true creatives will become a powerful tool. The problem is not that AI has everyone believing that they are in the creative industry, and that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
And what he said about garbage in, garbage out, it has been able to clearly define what it is you're trying to articulate and express and begin to modify it. Right now you have like an OP curation creation system. But I do think that AI will serve as a tool and a possible threat for those who don't understand or learn to use it as part of an integrated structure. Let me say this though, the problem we have with the creative economy in the Bahamas, respectfully, is we have analog minds directing where we need to go for corporate infrastructure, licensing system, competence tracking, contract terms, all of these different things. We talk about it from a surface type environment, and I do think the creators in the Bahamas have a unique opportunity considering that the creative industry is the multi-trillion-dollar industry. So even a small impact in there and the use of AI, proper use of AI and training and preparation, as it can actually lower barriers, accelerate idea generation, et cetera, I think that we should have a more sincere conversation on it.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the call. Yeah.
You know what I think I'm hearing here? Almost back like 1919, before electricity came in, nobody really thought electricity was going to be a valuable thing. Nobody. Everybody hated the idea, that type of stuff. Now, 100 years later, we can't live without electricity. So with AI, we like...
is AI the electricity in this?
Yes,
Okay.
I feel
boy.
so,
That's
right?
scary.
Because I can see, I agree with him, right? AI is always improving itself, but still nothing competes with the human touch.
Until AI figures that out, too.
Well, at that point...
Be afraid.
Okay, be very afraid.
We
All
don't
right.
want AI to figure that out.
Oh, it will.
We don't.
You know, I
And
watched.
What will we be doing?
I watched a podcast a few months ago where they were talking to three people. One who actually invented the whole Chat GPT thing and where he thinks it's going. It's his baby, so he wants it to go. Asked him about, well, what if people use it for bad, right? He relishes in the idea.
It's already happening too.
Okay,
Yeah.
because he's only interested in seeing where his program can actually take the world. But at the same time, you have people like, oh, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. We need to look at this.
Your AI son calling you for money and cleaning out your bank account, right? 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Okay, Angelique, so the money. Where's the money? How are the animators in the Bahamas, how are they able to tap into this billion-billion-dollar industry?
One of the things that we're doing in our unit is actively searching for organizations, entities globally that we can tap into and direct our creatives to so that they are able to apply for grant opportunities for countries like ours.
And those do exist.
They do exist.
Yeah.
There are some that only cater to small island nations.
Oh, wow.
Developing nations. One of the areas that I would constantly try to direct people to is the UNESCO desk at the Ministry of Education. Ms. Bevins heads that, and UNESCO has so many opportunities for the creative industry that we are able to tap into. And she would be able to speak to the different areas because it has to come through her. The support has to come through her for you to be able to actively looking for different areas. And they will be posted on our social media pages. We have something that's going to be posted this week. Fresh Milk, I think. There are opportunities for creatives. I think that organization comes out of Jamaica.
Fresh Milk.
Yeah, but and I'll send the information to you so you can put it up as well. Our creatives are able to tap into something like that. Caribbean Development Bank also has tons of opportunities for the creative industry. Persons from the Bahamas are able to tap into that, as well as the IDB. It takes a little bit of time and research, and we intend to be the entity that assists with finding these things to make your
you just
search
have to focus
easier.
on being creative and let y'all work that part out.
That's what I prefer, because creatives, they want to just be able to create. We don't want to go, let me find where this grant is and then fill out this long form. Right. You may have to clock out some time to fill out the applications, but at the end of the day, the positive results you get. And filling out an application is not a guarantee that you will get it.
Yeah.
But you have to stick with it and keep doing. Because I know as a fellow creative myself, there's no way you could extract that creativity out of your body. You can't do it. So we're going to assist with finding avenues and venues for you to be able to make these applications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got only a few minutes left. Jason, advice you'd give to young people, maybe not even young people out there, who guys, ladies who always were extremely talented, wanted to do animation, but never thought they'd get the opportunity. What would you say to them?
Just try it, right? Because the thing is, I taught myself too.
Wow.
Right? Like I said, it took me 6 years. So literally learning the program and trying to produce a film at the same time. So I can't tell you that my first film is without, they got tons of imperfections.
Right. Okay.
All right. But after 6 years, losing it 2 times and have to start over, So I was determined to see that project through. So, just start.
Yeah.
If you are on the right path, opportunities will present themselves. And that's how I actually moved. For 6 years, as I was working on the film, I went to Trinidad, I think, twice for an animation film festival there. Let's see, Camille Sylvan Abrahams, she's, I think Red Circle is the name of an animation company down there. And they've been doing, like, music videos and stuff for years, you know. Their animation festival is, like, I think in their 19th year or something like that now.
Animation festival.
Yeah.
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 See,
right?
we do not even tap into like a small part of what's going on beyond our borders.
Cuba has been doing it for almost 60 years.
Wow.
Okay. We just starting.
Yeah. Wow.
The Orange Economy Unit intends to expose our creatives to
all of it.
the wider global creative community.
And to the parent who sees the talent in their child and is trying to resist the urge to push them to be a lawyer. What do you say to that person? Like,
live.
And
Let them live. Support the hell out of them.
Support them.
Do not discourage.
I come from a home where that support in the creative community was real.
Yes.
So support them.
Because here's the thing. If you don't support them, they don't have the opportunity to do what they really love to do, then they're stuck in a job they hate.
Yeah.
Constantly thinking about the thing they love to do.
Regret.
Okay, who really wants to live there?
Yeah.
Unless you hate that person, then do that. Right. Put them there. Right. But if you love the person, you will not want to box them in. And most creatives are not boxed in people.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we bust them boxes open long time. Either we rat them up or shoot them through.
My goodness.
We ain't about no boxes no
more. Jason Evans, give people your contact again if they want to get more inspiration from you.
So that email address is 4 dreads, DREADS @gmail.com.
Yes. All right. And Angelique McKay.
I like when you do
like
it.
When I do it?
I like when you do it.
You don't pay me enough for this. So you can call the Orange Economy Unit directly at 397-9914. Or email orangeeconomyunit@bahamas.gov.bs.
Yes, and you can tell them about the social media page.
And you're also on Facebook. You're also on Facebook. You're going to be on the other ones too. All the creatives are using TikTok and Twitter,
for that we have
Instagram.
We have a creative that manages those pages
There you go.
as we begin to flood. So we want persons in the creative community as well to be able to submit their works to us so that we could put it on that platform so that we could help share it globally, because you never know who sees what as we begin to populate those social media platforms.
Excellent. Very exciting stuff. All of you keep up the great work. You're wearing orange today.
Orange top, orange boots. See?
right.
Soldier.
There you go.
Orange.
Yes.
Yeah.
Orange Economy.
There you go. Orange Economy. Jason Evans, Angelique McKay, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you for having us.
Orange Economy Unit. It's our Orange Economy series. I'm looking forward to talking with you again next month.
We'll be here.
All right. Great stuff.
All righty.
We're going to take a break. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Morning Blend Business. We'll be right back.
Oh, that's what I like. Yeah, I like reggae script. I like Junkanoo. Oh, I like Gombe Punch. Oh, I like Sky Juice. Yeah, I like Johnny K. Yeah, where my fish do. But I don't need all that burn. That don't make a soup. Yeah, I like the beach. Going water. I just want a profile with somebody daughter. I like to go diving. I ain't looking school. But if anybody asks me, Sean tell me do. Yeah, you should know I'm a Bahamian.
On Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Atlantic Agents and Brokers. Good like that.
All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope section and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Agri-Expo 2026, presented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, April 10th through 12th at the Gladstone Road Agriculture Center. Agriculture, our heritage, our future, comes alive with the latest farming technologies, exciting cooking demonstrations and competitions, Bahamian farmers and vendors from across the islands, fun for the kids at the Kitty Corner, nightly musical concerts, and free admission for everyone. Bring the whole family and celebrate what feeds our nation. Agri-Expo 2026. Let's get growing.
Put more money back in your pocket with the Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan. Why pay more when you can pay less? Reduce your monthly debt payments down to one low, easy payment. Apply for a Fidelity Debt Consolidation Loan today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can do banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Hey everyone, get ready for a night you won't forget. It's Z-Live's Far Back Friday Party with host Shivago Lang. Friday, March 27th, beginning at 7 p.m. Join us at Zappadillo Estate for a night of 80s and 90s music, dance, light bites, and refreshing drinks. Get your tickets at the Nassau Guardian between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. $50 per person. Cash sales only. It's Z-Live's Far Back Friday Party. Real music, lots of fun, eats and drinks, and oh so cool vibes. See you there.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce is claiming the government failed to consult with stakeholders on Grand Bahama about its intention to take over the Grand Bahama Power Company. President of the GBCC, Ralph Hepburn, telling Guardian Business that the government chose not to have any engagement with the population of Grand Bahama before the move. He said this leaves them in the dark on the whole thing. Yesterday, Prime Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, tabled two resolutions in Parliament aiming at securing authorization to guarantee loans amounting to $280 million for the Grand Bahama Energy Company Limited as it advances its effort to acquire ownership of GBPC. And many retailers, Liquor Association President George Robinson says that many of his members will not meet the March 31st deadline for business license renewals because of all the additional red tape involved in the new licensing regime for liquor merchants. He said, quote, "We're not going to meet it because if they're doing the inspection late and then when they do an inspection, they're telling you that you have to do this and you have to do that, all of this literally takes time." Effective April 1st, though, the government is enforcing strict liquor license amendments under the Business License Amendment No. 2 Act 2025, abolishing drive-through bars, cages, and liquor sales at any takeaway restaurants. All liquor businesses should have registered with the Department of Inland Revenue by December 31st to remain compliant with new applicants or application days in advance. Overseas, with airstrikes still battering Iran and missiles still targeting sites across the Middle East, some of the optimism that sent stocks rallying the day before drained out of Wall Street by Tuesday. Oil prices got back to rising, and U.S. stocks are returning some of their gains. The price of a barrel of Brent crude rose 3.5% to $103.42 a day after slumping more than 10%. The main measure of the U.S. stock market, the S&P 500, fell 0.4% to give back more than a third of its climb from the day before. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 351 points, or 0.8%, as of 9:35 this morning, and the NASDAQ Composite was 0.5% lower. The optimism at the week's start came after U.S. President Donald Trump raised hopes that the war could end soon, when he said the United States and Iran held productive talks regarding a complete and total resolution of their hostilities in the Middle East. His statement on social media caused stocks to flip immediately from losses to gains. It calmed worries that the war may cause a long-term disruption to the oil and natural gas industry in the Persian Gulf, one big enough to send a blast of inflation to the region's customers worldwide. But Iran has denied that such talks are underway, and attacks continued today. Iran remains highly suspicious of the United States, which twice under the Trump administration has attacked during high-level diplomatic talks, including the February 28th strikes that started the current war. In your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX. From Monday, your market movers. AML Foods Limited moving 100 shares, closing at 665 unchanged. Bahamas Waste moving 25 unchanged. Commonwealth Brewery moving 50, closing at 10.25 unchanged. Commonwealth Bank moving 100 unchanged at $4.03. CIBC First Caribbean Bank moving 3,000, closing at 16.50 unchanged. Consolidated Water moving 50 unchanged at 6.10. And Focol moving 9,714, down 1 cent, closing at $7.09. Emira Incorporated down 19 cents, closing at $12.39. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,122.47, down 0.20. That's Market Watch, and that is your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. And Quesadine, that is going to do it for us today. Thank you so much.
Wait, I have to send some quick shout outs.
Okay.
Please, Dwight.
Get it in.
My son is celebrating his birthday today, so happy birthday to my amazing son, Ian.
Oh, wow.
And I want to also send happy birthday greetings to two of my aunts, Meryl Dean and Dolores Delancey. May God continue to bless you all. Have a great day.
All of these family members born on the same day?
The same month. My son is today. My Aunt Meryl was the 17th, and my Aunt Dolores was the 18th. I mean,
Okay.
Thursday and Friday of last week, and then my son is today. March is crazy in our family.
Oh, yeah. No, I think all over. So many people. March and April. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, great
Thank
stuff.
you so much.
Thank you. I'll see you next week.
Yes.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a clock with Aaron Green coming up next.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.